What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Spread the Positive podcast. I'm your host, as always, Trent Denson. Got another STP 1200 Club member spotlight. These are my favorite things here lately. Super excited to have my guy, Tyler Haynes from Legacy Performance Group. Man, how are you?
Hey, pretty well, Trent. Good to be on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you wanting to join and being part of what we're doing here, Spread the Positive. Really means more than you know. We've crossed paths for several years now, man.
For sure.
Done some cool. You're always up to some pretty cool stuff, but the way I typically like to do it is take us back, man. Like kind of early passions, what childhood was like, everything in that regard, and we'll kind of get into current life from there.
Sure. So, I call myself one of the OGs of Murfreesboro.
Right.
So there's not too many of those
Unicorns,
left.
right?
Right.
Yep.
Wasn't born here. Born in North Carolina. My dad was in the Navy, so
Nice.
Born on a Navy base, and we traveled around when I was real little, but pretty much settled.
Fort Campbell, or
He was in Fort Campbell for a little bit. Yeah.
no, that's the one here, right?
That's in Clarksville.
Right. What's the one in North Carolina?
It's in Jacksonville, Camp Lejeune.
That's okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. My bad.
So that's the one you see on all the lawyer commercials.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
hey, you need to sue them for the bad water that they had.
Right.
Me and my family are fine, so and haven't had to get into that yet.
Nice. Okay.
But been established in Murfreesboro, Middle Tennessee since really first grade.
Okay.
So went to elementary school at Mitchell Nielsen.
Nice.
First and second grade, and then my mom decided to homeschool us
Really?
from third to eighth grade.
How was that?
So that was interesting. You know, that was back in the day where homeschooling wasn't the cool thing to do.
Right.
And so everybody, at least, I mean, I think we were pretty normal, but there was a lot of weird families that were like, they didn't want to talk to anybody.
Really?
You know, it was kind of awkward at the time. But I mean, we met some good families, but we also had some cousins that homeschooled. My
Nice.
mom's sisters and brother homeschooled, and we would get together with them. But it was fun. It was fun times. You know, we reenacted Civil War.
Nice.
And would have walnut wars in the backyard and all kinds of fun stuff. So we learned how to do some practical skills, and I'm actually homeschooling my kids now.
Nice.
Well, I'll say my wife is. She's
Right.
so we've got a 7, 9, and 11-year-old,
Man.
2 girls and a boy in the middle.
Wow.
And
okay.
she's a saint for doing that,
Yeah,
because
shout out to your
I don't
wife.
have that kind of patience. But she
No
calls me
chance.
the principal, so I
There you
get to
go.
come in and be like, either make it super fun when they're bored, or bring the discipline with me. So
I love that.
but
man.
most of the time I cause a ruckus. So
I love that, man. Well, all right. So, been here in Rutherford County for a long time. What did you go to middle? Are you?
yeah,
okay.
went to MTSU. Went to Blackman High School.
Okay.
So went to Blackman. I think it was the second year it was open.
Okay.
And I actually lived pretty close to Siegel and Oakland. And at the time we were like, why are we driving 30 minutes in the middle of
Yeah.
a cornfield, out in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah.
You know,
That's so wild
and,
to think about. That's really wild.
But, I guess they knew, right? It's no longer a cornfield.
No, it's pretty
So,
busy.
But yeah, I enjoyed my time at Blackman. I was your typical jock, played freshman football.
Nice.
And really we focused on soccer after that, and actually ran track my senior year.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
and happened to meet a cheerleader, and she's still with me today.
Man, doing something right. Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. So soccer was the main focus.
Yep.
That's awesome. How were y'all? Were y'all pretty good back then?
Yeah, but I mean, Blackman's got a great history in soccer, and they've gotten. I don't think they've won the state championship yet. They've been so close so many times, and just thinking back at all the players we had, I was like, gosh, we should have won.
That's crazy.
We won a few on our club team, the Strikers, back in the day.
Nice. Cool, man. Nice.
So that was cool. But
What did you play? What position?
So, when I was in middle school, they kind of put you around everywhere.
Right.
But Coach Weiss at Blackman, he was smarter than I was, and he's like, hey, we put the fastest people in the back. So I played on defense,
Nice.
and I was pretty quick. And I wanted to be the cool guy that scored all the goals, but he's like, no, you need to go back there and stop everybody from scoring all the goals. So
defense wins championships.
But yeah, I would play sweeper, left or right back, whatever was needed. So
that's awesome, man. I didn't know. See, I love doing this stuff, man.
So I'm a little sore today because I play in the old man soccer league still. So I was out last night at Siegel Park, and that's no joke, man. Actually, it was my first game back in like 3 games because I twisted my ankle pretty bad. But when you get old, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no kidding. It's a risky business out here playing pickup or anything these days.
Yeah, it's fun though. It's good to get a little competition in.
Heck yeah, man. I bet that's super fun. Well, that's awesome, man. So Blackman, soccer, track, a little bit of football early on, then went to middle. What did you study in middle?
Yeah, so was in the business building, studied marketing, and at the time I didn't know what I wanted to do necessarily. I just knew, okay, a business degree is going to be valuable. It's not one of those throwaway papers that some people get. Yep. So at least that's what some advisors told me to do. And then I kind of figured it out from there, which, sometimes I still ask myself the question, what do I want to be when I grow up, right? I think we all do from time to time.
Trust me, I feel that, man. I feel that. What the heck are we doing? That's amazing, man. So business degree from MTSU. What were some of your early endeavors in the business world?
Yeah, so I graduated in 2009, and at the time in a pretty nice recession, not a whole lot going on.
We were on the same exact. Yeah, I graduated at the very end of 2009. Okay. So same, man. It was rough. Those were rough times.
Yeah, so I was engaged, about to get married.
Oh man.
And so I graduated in December, and we got married in March. And
wow.
Yeah, so I knew, I was like, okay, I've got to find something, and this is a really tough market to find a job in, especially for a graduate. Nobody wanted to hire graduates.
You need 5 years of experience.
Right. So I started working at a local printing company, and they actually had a nice. It was called a leadership development program. So it was like a three-year program where they would kind of rotate you through each department.
That's cool.
Which was great for me because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Right. So I got to work in, accounting and finance and purchasing and planning and run the press and mailing and cool. Technology and IT and all the stuff. Right.
Wow. That's awesome.
Now
shout them out, or who is it?
Oh yeah, it's Courier Printing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So they've been a part of a couple of different conglomerates. I think they're our Donnelly company now, though. Okay. So, that's awesome. But yeah, that was a great foundation for me there.
Heck yeah, man, that's awesome.
And especially getting that experience, like, hey, I'm not sure what you wanted to do, but by the end of it, I was really qualified to run a business.
Yeah.
And so that was, and that was really their goal. So their goal was to take, those people that completed that program and make them presidents of their company. So there was like 72, I think at the time, throughout the United States.
Dang.
Other sister companies. So, you kind of had eventually you chose like a management track or a sales track, and then eventually you would become a president if you stuck around long enough.
That's awesome.
And of course you had to do a good job. But before I kind of got to that point, I did a lot of things, but toward the end of that program, I really got into technology. Yeah. And there's a really awesome IT guy there. His name is Joey. I forget his last name at the moment, but I haven't talked to him in years. But he really helped me, taught me some great things. And then, I had a marketing degree, and I actually designed websites in high school. So at Blackman, they had a website class in 2006, which was really like
that's sick. Awesome.
That was early adoption at that point.
For sure.
I remember, I wish I had pictures of the old websites we'd make. They were so terrible, to these days. But
the fact that you were doing that in high school is awesome. That's
right.
Cool, man.
Even if you had it's the Blackman Blaze. So we would, I remember the banners would have a fire that actually moved, and that was like the coolest thing ever, That's hilarious. That's great. But anyway, so in high school, we actually competed in a national competition and won. Nice. We went out to California, got to go to Disney World and all that stuff. So that was cool. So I had a little bit of that experience. And so the printing company, they had created this program where it's basically a storefront where you can order your printing. So, if you're a company, you can go on this website, order your business cards and custom brochures or whatever, that you need. A lot of real estate companies and different type of companies use that. And so I started, actually, they sent me off to Houston for 3 months to kind of learn and understand that program. That's where the headquarters were at the time. And which was wild. I was married and I left. Left my wife for like 3 months.
Wow, dude. That's kind of wild.
But it worked out. She came and visit, a few times. But she was working here. She worked at March of Dimes actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
For a little while.
Cool.
She was doing that. So she stuck around. But people ask me about Houston. Don't love it. There's a lot of cool things to do, but the traffic is absolutely crazy.
I've heard it's massive, isn't it?
It is massive. When you see like interstates on top of interstates on top of interstates, and you're like, okay, I'm in a big place.
Yeah, I've heard people are like, it's like 4 Nashvilles or something. There's like 4, like literally like 4 different Nashville size things for
it is. And I actually went to Dallas later or earlier this year, but they're really 2 separate animals. But Dallas is huge. It's just more spread out than Houston is.
I'm good on Texas, man. I've
everything's big in Texas. That's for sure.
I've heard.
But anyway, coming back, so learn that technology, and then the sales reps would take me along to present that technology right to their customers or prospects. And so I found myself, as a shaky 22-year-old, the first sales call, first one I was in downtown Bridgestone, presenting to their executives, like this program, with like this dark, really cool room with executives. And I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
At 22? That's kind of wild.
Yeah. I mean, the other salesperson was there with me, which, they took most of the meeting, but I had like a good, 10, 15 minute slot where I had to like show them what to do.
Man.
So I got thrown in the fire, a little bit. And that's how I got into sales. But you can't do without learning, or you can't learn without doing, I guess. So, but yeah, that was the first sales experience for me. And then I just continued my career in sales. So I ended up getting into construction materials. So I sold masonry, so brick, block, stone. Worked for a couple of local companies here, Associated Masonry Products. Now what is Lee Building Products, I believe.
Oh, nice.
And did that for, 6-7 years. And then I found myself at Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville.
Okay.
Which is a fantastic company. And really, that's when I really started to learn like more about home building and housing. And so I was more involved in the design process and that sort of thing, which is really interesting to me. I always thought like, hey, I could have been an architect, but I didn't want to go to school that long.
Yeah, so, fair enough.
But so that was great for me, a great time for me. I helped to mentor some other people that came through there, and there's still some great people there today that that are top performers, and I was part of President's Club and all the things there.
Nice,
so,
man.
but shout out to those guys. That's a fantastic company. Ben Talbot is the owner, and they're still doing great things. So,
that's awesome.
But I've had a little bit of a journey. I had. I've got some family members that went, they worked at, one company for insane. 40 years and retired and had a pension. I was like, man,
that'd be nice.
I wish that still existed. Right.
Like, so rare.
I mean, some of it does. It's rare though.
Yeah.
Maybe America will get back to that at some point.
Maybe, man. Maybe. I hear you, man. Similar story, just all over the place, learning a bunch of stuff that, I mean, it's all part of the plan, right?
For sure.
That kind of gets into your higher purpose now, which is well, hang on. When did we meet? What were you were that was NYP.
Yeah. So I was at Pella at the time.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
I was on the board at Murfreesboro Young Professionals.
Yes.
And just doing some networking and getting to know people around here. the young people, I guess.
Right.
And that was a good time. We met there, but I've had a little bit of a journey since then.
Yeah.
I jumped into some real estate investing.
Yep. Flipping and
I
investing.
did some flips, owner financing, that sort of thing. And so what I figured out was like, I was really good at buying houses.
Yeah.
But I was terrible at fulfillment and selling them. Right.
Touche.
Or maybe not selling them, but like, actually doing all the details in the process.
Sure.
Like, and not that I couldn't do it. I just didn't like it, I guess. And so
you got up to like quite a few properties, right?
Yeah. I think I bought like 7 properties in like less than a year. So it was crazy.
Were you didn't flip all those?
No, I didn't flip all those.
Yeah.
I had a lot of more owner financing, but
Gotcha. Okay.
But
that's a
some of them
crazy
I
way.
wholesaled and things like that.
Cool.
But I figured out like, okay, I like this, but I'd really rather just buy them, or I was going to just wholesale. I think full time. But the training program that I joined, the owner reached out to me and he was like, hey, well, why don't you just come buy for me? And so I did that, and it did pretty well. Got promoted to their purchasing manager, and ran a little team there. And we have Google ads, and they would fill out the form. We'd call them within 30 seconds and try to buy their house.
Nice, man.
And so that was a great experience. Really loved doing that. And unfortunately, there were some things going on there that I had to walk away from.
Sure.
But at that point, I was kind of exhausted, to be honest. I'd been working like a dog for the last 6-7 years, and needed a little bit of a break, and that was okay.
Yeah.
At that point,
That's
and
good.
I was kind of like, Lord, I don't really care what comes next.
Yeah.
Like, wherever you want to send me, I'll go.
Sure.
Which on the other side of that, it sounds like a lot because I got a family, and but it was. The blessing in that was I got to spend a summer with my kids.
Nice, man.
Which was awesome. And,
Yeah.
really got to spend some good time with them and build that relationship, because I felt like I'd missed out on some of that, just, working 60, 80 hours a week or
Sure.
whatever it was.
Absolutely.
And, the Lord opened a door for me, and I wasn't even really advertising or looking for jobs at the moment, but a friend of mine called me, and she said, hey, she worked at World Outreach Church and Alan Jackson Ministries. And she said, hey, like, have you ever thought about working at the church? And I was like, no, no, not at all. It'd been going there for a long time, but I was like, no, never even really crossed my mind.
Sure.
But she's like, okay, well, Pastor Allen wants to talk to you. So I was like, okay. So, went in, and, I think it was 5 interviews later, I ended up working there.
Wow.
So there's, and World Outreach is local, and everybody knows World Outreach Church, that name. But they have a media side to what they do. So there's a media ministry on the other side of that. So Pastor Allen has a, huge TV show, podcast, radio. Like he's everywhere.
Yeah.
On all kinds of channels, millions and millions of followers all around the world, really.
It's amazing.
And if you ask him, like, he never wanted to be the TV pastor,
Right.
Like it was kind of by accident in the Lord's design, and like he wanted to run away from that. But, humbly he put him there, and I mean, that guy's anointed. But essentially, they formed Alan Jackson Ministries, and so that has a huge outreach, but their donor base didn't quite match the people they were reaching. And so, a lot of people think they have this aura about TV preachers. They're like, oh, they're making millions of dollars. They're just raking it in. That's not always the case.
Sure.
So, I can't give too many details, but we were paying lots of money to be on all the
That's
platforms we were on.
So production's not cheap,
help,
man.
right?
Yeah.
They needed help with that. And so, I had a background in sales, but, Pastor Allen brought me in and said, like, hey, like, we're not calling people and be like, hey, can you donate $500 today? Like, that's not what we're doing. We're building relationships.
Sure.
And one thing that stuck with me, he said, hey, if you help change people's lives through Jesus, they will give. And that's exactly what we did.
That's awesome.
And so I spent a year, calling people, talking to people, and these are people non-local, so roughly a 60-mile radius or so outside of Murfreesboro, but all 50 states, and just building a relationship with them, and talking to them, praying with them, and I really learned like there's a lot of lonely people out there.
Man, facts.
And so I had the privilege of talking to, and really, I really made great friends, to be honest.
That's amazing.
And people are so generous, and they're just happy to talk to someone and connect about their faith in the Lord. And, and sometimes they need guidance, and I was happy, to help them with those things. So it was really neat. So I came from, the hardcore sales world, close the deal, and even from the contractor world, people cussing me out, to praying for people on the on the other end. So it was a great change up. It was a great change up. But so through that, I look at that time as a training. There's a time for, execution, but there's a time for training too. And, that pastor, he really encouraged, part of the message, if you ever go there or hear any of his sermons, it's like, hey, you need to take your faith wherever you are. That includes, the public square or your schools or work or, wherever you are. There's lots of other worldviews that are publicly displayed.
Sure.
Nobody really has a problem with any of that. So myself as a Christian, we're just asking to have the same voices and opportunities everyone else does.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
So not trying to hammer anybody down with the Bible or anything, just trying to share the light that we know that we have through Christ to others. So,
amen.
So that was a time for training for me. And again, I really got encouraged to take my faith to work. So
That's awesome.
And that's what I do. And so I'm owner of Legacy Performance Group.
Yes, we got there.
Let's go. Sorry, that was a really long story.
I was like, so now we're here today, baby.
Owner and CEO of Legacy Performance Group. And essentially, the short version is I am a sales consultant. I work with small businesses to help grow and crush their sales goals. But we do that really through creating proven and repeatable sales processes and then coaching people. Nice. And so, to some people that might sound a little bit backwards, because I always say like process first, people second. But really,
that makes sense.
Really, almost anybody can be successful in a great process.
Sure.
So even a dummy like me, like if somebody puts me in a good process that's repeatable and it works, like I know I can be successful. So
that's awesome.
So but bringing that back, so how do I apply my faith to this? And I had to kind of think through that. But that really looks different.
Sure.
Depending on who I'm working with. Mm-hmm. First of all, I just try to be myself. I'm not trying to hide anything of where I've been or what I do. And to be honest, I've never claimed that I'm a know-it-all. I don't know everything.
Sure.
Any wisdom or smarts that I have comes straight from the Lord. So,
amen.
But if I take something and try to do it myself, it fails miserably. But when we bring what I've found is if you invite God into your life each and every day, like you will see a difference. And so that's the biggest encouragement I can really leave to anybody. Like just invite the creator of heaven and earth and the person that made you into your life every day, and your life will change significantly. And that's a huge thing. Like a lot of people we just don't think about that.
Yeah.
And even if you don't believe like there's a God out there or whatnot, like those are good questions to ask, right? Like, okay, is there a higher purpose? Is there something else out there for me in life than just doing the grind, right?
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's amazing. What a story, man. I knew like 20% of that. I love that. I love doing these because it's always so cool to like get a real accurate like it's almost like a resume, but just like going over. I don't know. It's always really cool.
Sorry, I'm really good at rambling. So.
Nah, man, that was great. So Legacy Performance Group, relatively new endeavor, right?
Yeah. So this is I'm like 4, almost 5 months in now.
Okay.
So doing lots of networking and cold calling and reaching out to people and but it's been a while, I guess, since I've been more out in the public.
Sure.
Because this position, the more people you know and get in front of, the better. Right. But it's been really, really neat to meet. I've met some fantastic people here in Murfreesboro. I spent a lot of time in Williamson County also.
Nice.
Doing some networking groups and different things. But yeah, it's been nice to actually get out there in person, right? Because we were all stuck during COVID.
Right.
Gosh, I remember I just drove myself crazy sitting in my office at home for a couple of years.
Yeah, that was wild. I'm so grateful for Tennessee. I guess I was essential with the real estate stuff. So that was, thank God. I felt, anyway, let's not even get into it. That was a weird time. But you can do this from anywhere, right? Like it doesn't have to be local, but do you try to keep it local?
I try to the best I can. I mean, don't get me wrong. We can do almost anything virtually today.
Yeah.
However, when you have a role like I do, where you're involved in big decisions and big strategy, you have to create a lot of trust.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And in person.
Oh yeah,
it just strengthens that bond
sure.
and strengthens that trust. So, not to say that you can't do that over a video camera, but if I do have virtual clients, I will actually fly there, meet the team, all of that. It's impactful. Yeah. And so sometimes I'm actually managing a sales team. So, and I've managed a sales team virtually. You can do it. There's some extra things that you have to do to be successful doing it that way. But it just makes a difference if you show up in person and shake a hand and all that. So
absolutely. Well, what's your target demo? What would help? Like, what's a good referral? Anything along those lines?
Sure. So I'm typically working with business owners, usually in the business to business space, so B2B.
Okay. Yep.
And really working with sales teams, anywhere from like 2 to 15 people. And sometimes they want to bring me in, just to work on the process.
Yeah.
And sometimes they want me, managing the team, and a lot of times I'll do both. It just depends what the needs are. So I didn't mention this before, but I am a licensed sales QB or sales quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's a company. It's been around since 2002, but essentially they bring a framework to what I do, like a 6-step process that we go through. And so that's really helpful. And they help me with some marketing and things like that. And we have a mastermind. I get on a call every Thursday. Nice. And there's 85 of me or so throughout the country. So, really cool. I can pick up the phone and call just about any one of them.
Yeah.
And, get on this kind of a mastermind format and say, hey, I've got this client. Do you have any experience in this field or whatnot? But to answer your question, I guess I don't specialize in one particular field.
Okay.
So it's similar to how a CEO can go from, a technology company to a car company.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Like 80% of what we do is applicable across the board.
That's awesome.
Now I work with the other 20%. I work with the business owner to figure it out.
Right. That's cool.
Which is nice. It's a real relationship. Like it's a partnership. It's not like, hey, I'm going to tell you what to do and you better do it. It's hey, let's figure this out together. And the great thing about what I do is most of the high level things that I work on, most business owners don't have time to do that, right? Like they get distracted by the day-to-days, the fires. They have 4 or 5 things they really want to get done that day, but most of the time they don't because there's distractions, right? And so if they really want to scale their business, grow their sales and be intentional and set processes and frameworks in place, sometimes you got to have a little push, right?
100%.
So, I'm pretty decent at keeping people accountable, reminders, and they've got to do the work too. Right. It's not just me. I can't say poof and here's your sales. They're awesome now, right? It's definitely an effort and an investment. not just in me, but you know, if you want to grow your business, you've got to invest in your business. Yeah. And so that's part of that. But yeah, it's really neat. You know, we build a lot of trust, and you know, I do my best to integrate my faith when I can. A lot of times I'll start a meeting with a word of prayer.
Nice.
And, you know, sometimes sales reps come to me with a problem, and I'll relate, that back to the Bible, you know, or whatever. There's lots of awesome stories in the Bible, you know, like David and Moses and Noah, and I mean, you know, and Jesus, of course, but lots of fantastic principles in the Bible that you can use to apply to everyday business.
Sure. That's awesome, man. I can hear it in your voice, man. You're really passionate about this and love what you do.
For sure. You know, and this, you know, the Lord's really changed my life in the last few years. This wasn't me a couple of years ago. Yeah. So, you know, something clicked.
That's really cool
in me. And yeah, it's a fire that burns.
I love that. That's beautiful. That's really awesome, man. Well, let's get into a couple of, anything else on I'm gonna call it LPG. Is that cool?
Yeah, no, that's totally fine.
Anything else LPG wise that we should know? Where actually go ahead and tell people where they can find you and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, so you can go to my website. You can find me at legacyperf.com. So legacyperf.com. I'm there. I'm on LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn, I think it's /n/Tyler H Haynes.
Okay.
Hampton is my middle name.
Nice.
And so
fun facts.
I like to, you know, post and engage on LinkedIn. That's a big space for me.
Okay.
And there's, you know, lots of good content on there. So
totally.
If you want to see like daily kind of what I'm thinking and what I'm, you know, I literally take the business cases that I have and process and thoughts, and I put them on LinkedIn. Like, hey, here's kind of what I've seen and what I've done and what I've heard. You know, so
would this help you?
Right. Maybe this will help.
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah, maybe it won't. I'm not batting 1,000 here.
Sure. Nobody, none of us are, but still, that's awesome, man. Yeah. I again can just hear it in your voice that this is like you've like really kind of found your thing. It seems like.
Yeah, maybe I did find what I wanted to do when I grew up.
I think we might have landed on it here. That's awesome, man. Well, I got a few go-to questions, spread the positive wise. The tagline's bringing light to what's going right. So according to you, man, what would you say is going right in this crazy world, man? I always liked, it's been the baseline question for this podcast for 6-7 years, but I always love to hear what's going right according to you, man.
Well, I'll say that God is moving in the earth.
Let's go.
And, you know, there's a lot of cultural shifts happening right now. Actually, if you go on my LinkedIn, I wrote a post about the 10 cultural shifts in America that are happening right now.
That'll be in the show notes, y'all. I'll put that in there.
So
check that out for sure.
But people are starting to go back to traditional values.
Let's go.
And you know, the values of the family, a husband, a wife, kids.
Yeah.
And it like people are starting to realize, I can actually be happy like having children. Like
right.
that, you know, there's been this kind of aura like, hey, and it's a little bit selfish to be honest, like hey, I want to be successful for myself. I want to, you know, be really established and wait till I'm, you know, late 30s or 40s to start a family. You know, I want to be almost a millionaire by the time, and, you know, I can afford the kids and like, listen, I had the same thoughts, right. You know, you can do what's easy, or you can do what's fulfilling. Right. And, you know, the Lord designed us and designed our bodies. Like we feed on relationships and family. Yeah. And, you know, he said, you know, go forth and multiply.
There you
right. Go. And, you know, what a blessing my family is. And, you know, I think there's, you know, a lot of men and women out there that think, hey, like kids are a distraction. They're a lot of work. Like we want to wait on that.
Yeah.
But I think we're starting to see like, hey, let's think twice about that. Sure. Right. There's a lot of fulfillment in the family, and
I love that.
You know, I think that's starting. That part is starting to come back around. But yeah, again, just a lot more traditional values. The family's probably the first shift I think that we're seeing. You know, but not to get too political here, but I think there's a shift in conservatism. You know, coming a little bit, and just going back to biblical values and things like that. So anyway, I don't want to rant on that for too long, but
you're good. No,
but yeah, I think that's a great thing happening in America.
Absolutely.
And we're the light in the world because everybody else has been going the other direction.
Yeah, it's a wild time for sure. Another go-to question, who's somebody in your life that really lives out, or when you hear the phrase spread the positive, or who's somebody in your life that kind of stands out as a good example of kind of living out the mission that we got here?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I've already talked about him a couple of times, but Pastor Alan Jackson has been a huge influence in my life and in millions, to be honest. I realize he's a pastor and that's his job.
Right.
But he's great at really bringing practical examples of how to do that. So, anybody can say, hey, do this and do that. But like when you break it down, or not many people can break it down like he does.
Step by step.
Step by step.
Yeah.
And what does that look like? Like, hey, let's have dinner with our family at the table, right? Like that's not a new thing.
Right.
That's an old traditional value, but how much value can you get from that?
Yeah.
Like you sit down with your family and your kids. Hey, what happened today? Mm-hmm. Like what's on your heart today? Did anything bad happen? Did anything good happen?
Right.
Like what was your high? What was your low? And go through that.
Love that.
So he's one. I mean, gosh, I've met so many good, positive people, especially in the last couple of years. Another one I reconnected with recently, Jeff Johnson.
Okay.
Do you know him?
I don't.
He was around in Murfreesboro. He's out in Chattanooga right now. But I met with him a couple of weeks ago, and just what a positive light for the Lord.
Nice.
And he does kind of similar things to what I do. He's a sales manager. But just his testimony is fantastic, and you can just kind of see it in his eyes, But again, there's the Lord is really helping and creating more of these type of people out there, and that aren't afraid, to share their faith. So,
amen, man, that's great. That's good stuff. Well, wrapping up, man. One of the last things is I call it the Grateful Four. 4 things you're most grateful for right now. What you got?
Well, I'll say my relationship with the Lord always comes first.
Yep.
So many blessings. I've gone through ups and downs, in many different ways.
Sure.
Financially, my kids have been in the hospital. There's been lots of things. Life's not perfect.
Nope.
But I'm thankful that the Lord is there to sustain us and take care of us. So that's number one. And obviously number 2 is family. I'm really blessed to have fantastic in-laws.
Nice.
And fantastic parents at the same time. That combination doesn't come around very often.
It's a blessing for sure.
Yeah. And gosh, my family on both sides have really changed the generational path for their faith and just in general, financially and everything. My dad, the stuff that he went through as a kid, like he shouldn't even be alive right now.
Sure.
It was so crazy. Grew up very poor. Same with my father-in-law, terrible environment, got kicked around as a kid every which way. Found the Lord as a young adult, and he's completely changed like the trajectory of his family tree. So, super thankful for that. You said 4, right?
Yeah, that's 2.
Okay. So the other thing, I would say the opportunity that I have right now is huge.
That's awesome.
I don't know if you've ever taken a DISC test, personality assessment. This is more like a behavioral sales assessment usually, but I'm a very high D.
Okay.
So, you know, sometimes have a problem with authority, you know, like to get things done,
Sure.
You know, not necessarily in a bad way. I like to lead.
Awesome.
So I'm happy, you know, I'm very thankful to be in the position I'm in.
Sounds
and,
like a great fit.
but very humbled too, because, you know, if I'm not careful, I'm helping others make decisions that affect a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I mean, these business owners, they're going to affect their employees or customers, and, you know,
Sure.
lots of people, vendors, lots of people outside of that. So,
ripple.
So super thankful, for, you know, the position I'm in, and just being able to help, business owners. And the last thing I'll say is just, gosh, I'm really thankful just to connect with people again.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel that.
you know, again, going back to COVID, it's just like,
Yeah.
I feel so cramped up everywhere, and, you know, thankful to get out and shake hands and meet people. It's been years since I really like got out and networked and did those sort of things. So just building those fantastic relationships and already getting referrals, and you know, try to help others, you know, connect as well. So
I love it, man. Well, it's I already said it, but thank you again for being down for the cause here at Spread the Positive. You're going to be shooting some content on a monthly basis, hopefully. So we'll be able to tell, you know, more success stories, more of what you're doing, how you can help folks. I'm really excited to see kind of what you want to do, what we can come up with together. And, you know, it's going to be really cool. I think this is a great fit for what you're doing, and it'll be, you know, like just kind of, I don't know. I just think there's a lot of upside to you talking to a camera, and really telling people.
Well, I'll be honest, this is my first podcast ever. So,
Man, you killed it, man.
don't.
This is you did a great job, and the stuff, man. I had no idea you were like on the Alan Jackson stuff, like the production side, and seeing the behind the scenes of all that. You know, man, like there's power in just, you know, speaking your truth. So I think you're gonna kill it, man. So thank you again.
Thank you
for being part of the 1200 Club. Excited to get some of your sessions in the books. It's always an honor just to have people say yes to what we're doing. So thank you, man. It means a lot.
Oh, well, you guys do some great work, and, you know, I love the message. You know, positivity is a rare thing these days. So we need more of that for sure.
Come on, that's right. Well, thank you again, man. Looking forward to it. I'll have all of Tyler's info in the show notes. And we'll wrap this one up, man. But looking forward to having you in. Please come in. A lot of people are weird about it sometimes, so please come in, and we'll make some great stuff happen. So thank you again, man.
Thank you.